What's up, guys? Back with another video, and today we're going to talk about some things to know before heading to boot camp and just some tips that I think will be helpful. I would have put in my last video, but that was really long and I didn't want to make a super long video as it was already long in itself. But anyways, let's get into it. First thing I would say, everybody stands watch. Nobody's above it. Nobody gets out of it. Everybody stands watch. In your ship, you can stand a quarterdeck watch, but in your compartment, there's a roving watch and a security watch. Security watch stands at the door and greets any RDC that comes through, or just any personnel that comes through. Or they can also halt recruits that try to enter or whatnot. Roving watch, they rove the compartment, like walk around the compartment, make sure things are in good order, good standing. For example, if an RDC was to walk into your compartment, the security watch will look like good morning, good afternoon, good evening, petty officer, chief, their rank, what they are, like petty officer, chief, and it's the rover's job to get over there and do the same. Honestly, I kind of forgot how the saying goes, but if I did remember, I would tell you guys. Also, there's a deck log, and attention to detail is key when writing in the deck log. Like a missed period can get your division of demerit chit, and all your demerit chits, they add up into your final score. So try your best to have attention to detail. If you have trouble with it, I'm sure there's somebody in your division that knows, or that's really well with deck logs. Sorry about that. And don't be afraid to ask for help, because at the end of the day, you guys are all like brothers and sisters, and just help each other out. One thing that I think is really important: get your sleep. After taps, get your sleep, because you're going to have really long days. Every day is going to be a long day. So I suggest you get your sleep after taps when you can. I thought my division was the only one to do this, but it turns out it was a lot of divisions. Everybody wanted to give a pep talk or a speech saying that we need to come together, this and that. And nobody, people listen, then you realize nobody listened. So go to sleep when you can. Don't be the person that stays up. Don't be the person that stays up and you can barely stay awake the next day, like you're falling asleep in class. Because I had RDCs that saw it as one team, one fight. Like, they took that to heart. If one person was falling asleep, everybody was dealt with once we got back to our compartment. Because when you're not with your RDCs, you're representing your RDCs. Like, the way you carry yourself and whatnot around the base, you're representing your RDCs at all times. So don't make your RDCs who work hard and day in, day out, don't make them look bad because of the decisions that you make. Don't be the person that stays up and doesn't allow other people to sleep. So after taps, get your sleep, unless you have watch. But yeah, just get your sleep, please. One thing that I think is big, probably the biggest thing, is getting physically and mentally prepared for boot camp. I was kind of freaking out when I shipped out, because all my recruiters didn't have much information on Fort McCoy, and most of the questions that people in my dev pool were asking was about being in shape for when you do your initial PFA, because a lot of people signed contracts and they had a $2,000 bonus and they didn't want to lose out on that. And also getting ranked up from E1 to E2 or E2 to E3, whatever you're at. And the thing that had me freaking out was I didn't want to sit in a room for 2 weeks straight, not doing anything, and then go to Great Lakes and you have to do your PFA. And I just, like, I was afraid that I would fail it and I would get set back. But we were able to work out in-house in our little square for McCoy. And eventually just like all the physical aspects of it just became not easier, but kind of easier, if that makes sense. Like it was like they gradually pushed you into things. And whenever you go to Freedom Hall to do your, forgive me, whenever you just go there to like do your workouts and stuff, the sustained runs, those really help out if you're not a good runner, because you like it helps you pace yourself for your final PFA or even your RDC assessment. Because I knew going in I wasn't the best runner. I had a decent time with my mile and a half, but I knew I wasn't the best runner. But the sustained runs just helped me like keep a like a good steady pace, and it helps you like kind of visualize where you can possibly be at during that PFA, because your laps are timed and you see how many laps you've done. I think the longest sustained run we did was 20 minutes. That's just 20 straight minutes of running on the track. And we always ran with my brother Div, so it was a lot of people on one track, but it was just easier to guide through. And they like broke you up into your pace group. There was a gold group who were, I want to say, under 10 minutes for a mile. There was a blue group. They were under 10, 12. I'm sorry. I can't remember the times, but I know it was gold, blue, and red group. And I was in blue group, but I tried to pace myself with the gold group so my time could be better and whatnot. And mentally, like I said, there's going to be long days and like some real trying days and trying times. Don't get discouraged. Have tough skin, because some things, some RCs will get in your face and yell at you, but just take it with a grain of salt. If it's like you're doing something wrong, don't just harp on that like, oh man, I'm not doing this right, to keep saying I'm doing it wrong. Try to fix it. If you know somebody who does it well, ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Like, always ask for help. I'm sure there's people that are willing to help you, and if you know something, help others out. So, yeah. I've had a lot of questions about the swim test, and just want to make it clear. When you first go to swim, like myself, I didn't pass the initial swim after we dove off the platform, because I got kicked in the face and I stood up. And they're like, since I stood up, I couldn't finish. So in my head, I'm like, oh, great. Now I'm gonna have to go to remedial swim, maybe I thought I was gonna get asthma at that time. So I was just like, a lot of things are going on. But there was some of the swim instructors were pulling people to the side, and you practice backstroke, and they wanted you to swim on your back and do everything on your back. So when the time came, you just made it easier, because they said the backstroke was the easiest, and it kind of was. But no need to freak out if you don't pass right like that day. If you don't pass and you get that second chance, no need to freak out. If you don't know how to swim, I advise you try to swim or get swim lessons or something, because swimming is a big part. And I just thought it was crazy, because out of 190 people in my division, 10 people didn't know how to swim. And like a day or 2, 3 days before battle stations, we were so busy, there was no time. And unfortunately, they got asthma. And the crazy thing is that next day, a few of them passed their swim. I mean, eventually they all passed, but it was just like, if they were given that time to do it, they would have passed and moved on with us. But it's like, you don't have the time all the time to really like have things set you back. And I don't want to sound like a downer, but you don't have you don't have time for anything to set you back. So with the swim, it's just, if you know you can swim, just do as you're told to do. If you don't know, I would highly suggest learning how to do the backstroke before shipping out, because I thought it was pretty easy than the regular swim. And that's pretty much all I have on that. If you have any questions, of course, you can always ask in the comments below. Be versatile for your division. Be very versatile. Me, I was a yeoman, but I was always helping out head crew or helping bag up trash so the trash PO can take it out. Nobody's above anything, so it wouldn't hurt to help out. And one team, when you're in division, like, you're one team. Because the people in my division, about 20 of them I knew from start to end, but the other 80, we had people come in and out, and the ones that stayed from start to end, we really bonded together. And even in the end, we still bonded together, because going through boot camp is an experience that you experience one time. And unless, of course, you but that's one time that you do this with these people, and nobody's above anything. So why go mess up something and be like, oh well, it's not my doing? Because I know our head crew always not butted heads, but always had problems with the RDCs for the head not being cleaned in time, and people just who were on the head crew just bailing and saying that they quit the head crew or whatever, just weren't on it. So I would just go in there and help them out, because if they needed sinks wiped down, wipe the sinks. Needed toilets clean, clean the toilets. If they needed the showers clean, just clean the showers. Everybody uses this stuff daily, so it's not like it cleans itself. There's no maids that come in. You clean, everybody cleans. So nobody's above anything. Be versatile. It will really help out your division. Last thing I would say, no reason to be afraid of your RDCs. I'm not saying get in their faces, they yell at you, whatever. I'm saying you're going to get yelled at. They might even curse at you, this, that, and whatever. But there's no reason to be afraid. Take a deep breath. Calm down. Whatever you got to do. Because it happens to everybody. If you freeze up, mentally take a step back, just quick, and then jump right back in. Because at the end of the day, they're trying to break you down from your civilian mindset and mold you into being a sailor. And it's a lot to take in the short amount of time. And there's no time for putting things to the side or just oh, we'll come back to that, because you're constantly moving, constantly doing stuff. And they are there to train you. That's their job. That's their main focus. 100% there to train you like nothing else really. And if you can't tell ranks, just take a second, look at it. Petty officer, chief, sir for officers, ma'am, things like that. So yeah, just take a step back, breathe, think about what you say before you say it, just stuff like that. Your RDCs are they're going to yell at you. They're going to get mad at your division. They're just a lot of things. But they're people too, and that's their job, because when they go home or even when they get out or retire, they want to know that they're safe with their families, because they put you in the fleet and they have 100% confidence that you're going to do your job to the best of your ability and everything. So yeah, appreciate you guys watching this video. If you aren't subscribed, subscribe. It would be really great. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, of course you can leave them down in the comments below. If there's anything you want me to make a video on, you can also drop it down in the comments below. And yeah, Godspeed. Everybody have a blessed day. Thanks again for watching.